The wellness industry is selling you a fantasy. They're pushing peptides as miracle cures for everything from aging to injury, promising to rewind the clock and unlock peak human performance. But what if I told you that some of the most popular peptides on the market are not only sold illegally, but could also be a ticking time bomb for your health? As a medical researcher, I've seen the evidence they don't want you to see. I've watched companies twist scientific language and exploit legal loopholes to make a fortune. Today, we're pulling back the curtain to expose the 7 toxic lies the peptide industry is hiding to protect its profits. Let's start with a simple definition. Peptides are short chains of amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. In our bodies, they act as signaling molecules, telling our cells what to do. It's a beautiful, intricate system. And that's the story the industry sells you, that these are just harmless natural messengers. But the products being sold in vials by online sellers and anti-aging clinics? They're a world away from what's naturally happening in your body. The narrative of a safe, effective, and legal miracle cure is crumbling under regulatory crackdowns and reports of serious harm. Have you ever wondered if the claims are just too good to be true? Well, you were right to be skeptical. Let's get into the deceptions. Lie number 1. All peptides are FDA approved and safe. This is by far the most dangerous lie of them all. The industry loves to point to the handful of FDA-approved peptides, like insulin or the new GLP-1 weight loss drugs, and say, see, peptides are approved medicine. It's a classic bait and switch. Here's the truth. The overwhelming majority of peptides sold for anti-aging, muscle growth, and injury repair have zero FDA approval for human use. We're talking about popular compounds like BPC-157, CJC-1295, and ipamorelin. The FDA hasn't just ignored these, it has explicitly placed many of them into Category 2. This category is for bulk drug substances that pose significant safety risks, which effectively prohibits compounding pharmacies from legally making them. Why the safety risk? The FDA is concerned about everything from immune system reactions and impurities, from shady manufacturing to a complete lack of clinical data to prove they are safe or effective in humans. When a company tells you that peptides are FDA approved, they are intentionally blurring the line between a few legitimate prescription drugs and a vast unregulated market of research chemicals. Lie number 2. Peptides are completely safe with no side effects. This lie preys on our desire for a magic bullet, a solution without consequences. You'll see influencers and clinic websites claiming side effects are just rare and mild. But how could they possibly know that? For unapproved drugs, there are no large-scale human trials, the gold standard for determining safety. The data simply doesn't exist. What we do have are animal studies, alarming case reports, and a growing list of documented adverse events. These can range from injection site reactions and headaches to far more serious issues. For example, the FDA has directly associated CJC-1295 with reports of increased heart rate and systemic vasodilation. Other peptides have been linked to hormonal imbalances, the potential to trigger dangerous immune responses, immunogenicity, and even death in one study involving intravenous ipamorelin. And this says nothing of the sourcing. Many of these peptides are produced in overseas labs with zero regulatory oversight, so you have no idea what's really in that vial. Claiming these products are safe isn't just a lie, it's reckless. Lie number 3. Compounding peptides is fully legal for my doctor to prescribe. This is where the deception gets legally complicated. A lot of people get their peptides from wellness clinics, thinking a doctor's prescription makes it all okay. The problem is, you can't just legally prescribe an unapproved new drug. Clinics try to get around this by using compounding pharmacies. However, federal law, specifically Section 503A, sets very strict limits. Compounding pharmacies are generally prohibited from using bulk ingredients that the FDA has flagged for significant safety risks, like the many peptides now on that Category 2 list. The FDA's enforcement in this area, which intensified significantly from 2025 into 2026, made it clear that compounding many popular peptides like BPC-157 and CJC-1295 is out of bounds. This forced many legitimate compounding pharmacies to stop producing them entirely. So if a clinic is still offering you a compounded injectable of BPC-157 in 2026, they aren't operating in a gray area. They are likely ignoring direct FDA classification, and the pharmacy supplying them is violating federal guidance. We're not even halfway through, and the picture is already pretty grim. If you think this information is crucial for protecting public health, please take a second to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We need to get this message out, and your support makes that happen. #Life4 peptides are natural, just like what's in your body. This is a brilliant piece of marketing. The word natural just feels safe, doesn't it? The industry tells you that since your body makes peptides, supplementing with more is a perfectly harmless process. This is fundamentally dishonest. The peptides you inject are synthetic molecules made in a lab. They're designed to mimic natural peptides, but they are not the same. Often, they're used at dosages far beyond anything your body would produce, creating physiological effects that aren't fully understood. And the natural argument completely ignores the risk of contamination. These aren't farm-to-table supplements, they're unregulated chemical products. An analysis might find the peptide you ordered, but it could also contain solvent residues, heavy metals, or incorrectly made fragments that could cause a nasty allergic reaction or long-term organ damage. Calling them natural is a marketing trick to make you lower your guard. #Life5 peptides deliver instant, guaranteed results. The before and after photos are so compelling. The testimonials are glowing. The promise is one of rapid transformation, fast healing, quick fat loss, and immediate anti-aging. This hype fuels the entire industry, and it's another toxic lie. Think about it, even with legitimate FDA-approved drugs, results are never instant or guaranteed. For peptides, their whole point is often to stimulate a gradual systemic response. For example, a growth hormone secretagogue doesn't just dump growth hormone into your body, it signals your pituitary gland to produce more over time. That's a slow process that can take weeks or months to show any effect if it works at all. The dramatic results promised by marketers are usually based on anecdotes or animal studies, which don't translate directly to humans. For most of these wellness peptides, there is a complete lack of large-scale, placebo-controlled trials to back up the extraordinary claims being made. The only thing guaranteed is that the seller gets your money. #Lie6, it's legal to buy if labeled for research use only. This is the biggest wink-and-nod deception in the entire industry. Countless websites sell peptides with a tiny disclaimer, for research use only, not for human consumption. This is a transparent and legally useless attempt to get around the law. The FDA operates under a doctrine of intended use. It doesn't matter what the label says, it matters what the product is intended for. When a website sells BPC-157 right next to customer reviews talking about healing and articles on how to inject it, the intended use is crystal clear. The FDA has repeatedly stated that this research-only label is a legal fiction and has been actively shutting down companies that use this loophole. If you see this label, don't see a clever loophole. See it for what it is, a giant red flag that you're dealing with an unregulated and illegal supplier. #Lie7, it's just a gray area, no real legal risks exist. For years, the peptide market felt like the Wild West, but that time is over. The idea that this is just a harmless gray area is maybe the most outdated lie of them all. Regulators are taking decisive action. As we've discussed, the FDA's reclassification of many peptides was a seismic shift that led to a major crackdown on compounding pharmacies. This enforcement is ongoing and expanding. The Department of Justice has prosecuted compounders for distributing unapproved drugs, leading to massive fines and even prison time. State medical boards are starting to go after physicians who prescribe these unapproved substances, with penalties including license suspension. And for you, the user, while personal possession might be a low prosecution priority, you are still buying and using an illegal, unapproved drug from a source that's likely committing multiple federal crimes. The legal risks are very real, and they are growing every day. The why? So why are these deceptions so widespread? The answer, as it so often is money. The global peptide market is worth tens of billions, and the unregulated wellness corner of it is a gold rush. These companies are not motivated by your health, they're motivated by your wallet. By dodging the multi-billion-dollar FDA approval process, they can synthesize chemicals on the cheap, mark them up astronomically, and sell them to a public desperate for solutions. They exploit your pain, your insecurities, and your hope. The lies aren't a side effect of the business model, they are the business model. Let's summarize the truth we've uncovered. The industry lies that peptides are FDA approved. They lie that they're perfectly safe. They lie about the legality of compounding them. They use the word natural to fool you, promise results they can't guarantee, hide behind research-only labels, and pretend there are no real legal consequences. The fantasy of a miracle cure is alluring, but the reality is one of unproven chemicals, unknown dangers, and illegal sales. The power, however, is now in your hands. You have the knowledge to see past the hype. You can be an informed consumer who demands evidence and refuses to be a guinea pig in an unregulated, industry-wide experiment. Your health is worth far more than their profits. If this video opened your eyes, please share it with someone who might be considering these products. And for more content that pulls back the curtain on the wellness industry, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.